Raymon Blondel'iyiz. Kendisi Avrupa Paralimpik Federasyonu Başkanı. Thank you so much for accepting us. Raymon, he is European president of Paralympic Komitesi, and so thankful that you're here for an interview. How is everything? We're in front of the Istanbul house during the Olympics in Paris. How your day goes, and can you explain what are you doing in here?
Yeah, it's an honor to be here as a president of the European Paralympic Committee, especially also an honor to be here at the Istanbul house with a beautiful celebration yesterday evening. I have the honor to visit the Olympic Games as well. As you may know, that the Paralympic Games will start in about 2.5 weeks from now, and it's an honor to be here to visit the Olympic Games. For me, it's like a kind of a sneak preview what is going to be expected in about 3 weeks. So it's wonderful to be here and visiting some sports and also visiting many different national houses just to catch up with some friends in the network. Absolutely. So I'm really enjoying it.
Oh, okay, perfect. Raymond, what was the plans with the Turkish Paralympic Committee and European Paralympic Committee? Is there any goals and the plans in the future?
Absolutely. And I'm very proud to announce that next year in 2025, Istanbul will host the European Para Youth Games. It's like a small para games on a continental level, especially for the youth. So we try to provide the young athletes a pathway, journey towards elite sportsmen and elite sportswomen. I'm proud to say that the European Paralympic Committee has honored the organization to the city of Istanbul. And there we collaborate with the city of Istanbul, with the National Paralympic Committee of Turkey, and of course people from the European Paralympic Committee together to make a beautiful event out of that.
And Raymond, there's during the Olympics, like what was the best moment for you by your own experience? Like, do you have any experiences or memories from the Olympics?
From this Olympics, there's one specific moment, and since I come from Holland, so maybe it's not 100% neutral, but there was a very beautiful moment in the basketball, 3x3 in the finals.
3x3, yeah.
Yeah, the Dutch played against the French, and it was a wonderful game. The Dutch won the game with the last shot in the last second of the game, which was a fantastic moment with a beautiful atmosphere and beautiful energy. So, to be honest, so far, that's maybe the most inspiring moment I've seen over the last 10 days.
So, do you have any golden moments in Olympics in Paris 2024?
Yes, to be honest, I have. And since I come from the Netherlands, I'm not 100% neutral, but there was a beautiful moment in the finals of the 3x3 basketball. The Dutch playing against the French, and the Dutch won the game, and they made the score in the last second of the game, which was a beautiful moment, a beautiful atmosphere, and a beautiful energy. Later that evening, these medal winners were rewarded in the Team NL house, and it was a huge party and with a big respect for these basketball players. So far, it's been my most inspiring moment over the last 10 days.
In your own experiences and the professional sports life, so how do you recognize in this Olympics, if you could compare with the Tokyo one or like the London, was the expectation and the expectation will continue like that, or it's like the lowest or highest expectations? What do you think about this?
Yes, it's difficult to compare. I mean, Tokyo were COVID games, so it was really different, but what French organization really achieved very well is bringing the sports to the city, especially the city center courts, and really having many medal races and many medal events in the city is a beautiful concept. So it's not only a sport event being organized in different venues and isolated from the city, no, it's really the sports into the city. So this is a wonderful concept, and I think this deserves continuation for the future as well, because I believe in this concept, which is very, very strong.
And Raymond, can you explain about, we were talking about Paralympics and Turkish Paralympic Committee and European Committee, collaborations and future plans. So can you describe us? What is the plans coming up?
To be honest, I mean, the Turkish Paralympic Committee is a very active committee, always bringing up very strong delegations. And if I recall it right, in Tokyo, 15 medals from the Turkish delegations in the Paralympic Games, very strong, and especially strong in some particular sports like the taekwondo, the para taekwondo, but also very strong in the goalball always. It's wonderful to see that that they will have a very strong team coming up to Paris, to the Paris Games. And yes, I'm very looking forward to the Paralympics, not without a reason. The Paralympic Games is really the moment that people with an impairment are center stage and they're able to show the best of what they can, but they're always also able to show and to tell the story behind it. And the basic principle of Paralympic sports is that it is based on what you still can do, and it's not based on what you cannot do anymore. So this principle, what you still can do, if you project this also to many other topics in society, is an interesting paradigm shift. It's another way of looking, and I think that the Paralympics is really a showcase to the world to show the people that you can really make the best of your abilities. And it's not about disabilities. And this is what I think is so inspiring of the Paralympic Games.
Okay, Raymond, so from your perspective, what do you think how Paris handled the Olympics? Is it like a professional organization?
Yeah, I believe it's a very professional organization. I think they put a lot of effort in security and safety for the athletes, for the delegations, for the spectators. And like I said before, they are really capable of organizing the sports in the town, which makes it a very strong Olympics, and I also hope a very strong Paralympics in 3 weeks.
Okay, perfect. So do you have any Turkish sports person that you can tell us, Turkish delegates from Olympics that kind of like your favorite and stuff, or have you ever personally met them?
No, not personally met them, but I've got a wide interest for many sports, not only on the Paralympic side, also on the Olympic side. And I love good competition, and I love inspiring games where you see that athletes really make the best of the event, make the best of the tournament. And that's why, for instance, looking at the Turkish volleyball team is inspiring to see. They really make the best of the moment and make the best out of the competition. And that's what I also hope during the Paralympic Games, that not only the Turkish delegation, but many other delegations really show their best and make the best of the Paralympic Games.
What do you think about the results? Like till then, it's going to be done really soon. So what do you think about the results for Olympics?
I think
the closing part.
Yeah, I think a big respect for the medal winners of Turkey. Like I said, in the boxing and in the wrestling and in the archery and in the shooting and maybe in the volleyball, there will be a medal. I think it deserves a lot of respect, and I think they did a wonderful job. Congratulations.
And Raymond is coming to my last questions. What do you think about volleyball improvement, volleyball Turkish national team women improvement from day by day until that day? What do you think about this Olympics performance about volleyball national team?
Yeah, what you can see is that the team, this is what I can see from a distance. Yeah, from a distance, what I can see, and I'm not a volleyball expert, but you see a team growing in the tournament and becoming better each game, and also, you know, like getting the support and getting the wider support for a wider audience. And it's wonderful that they really achieved the semi-finals. Like I said, hopefully they will achieve the finals.
Okay, so what we're going to see in Paralympics as a plan and the branches, can you just like tell us that what we're going to see in Paralympics in Paris? And it's going to be start soon, so what is the plan and the schedule?
Yeah, what we're going to see during the Paralympics here in Paris, I think there will be a showcase. Again, a showcase of wonderful Paralympic sports, and it's going to be a very strong and tough competition. What we see is that the Paralympic sports is still growing, and what we see is that the field of competitors is becoming wider and deeper. So more nations and more athletes from different nations and different continents, they come together and they make a very strong and competitive competition. And I think this is good. I mean, the best athletes of the world, they come together during the Paralympic Games and they really show the best of what they can. And the level is getting higher and higher every 4 years, which is wonderful to see. So, and yeah, this is what I hope to see during the Paralympics as well.
Perfect. And is European Paralympic Committee has any goals in the future for the next one, which will be taken in Los Angeles 2028?
Yes, the European Paralympic Committee will organize every 4 years, 1 year prior to the Paralympic Games, the combined European Para Championships. It's like a European Para Games for the continent of Europe. The first time we organized this was last year in Rotterdam, and I believe it was a great success, and I'm very proud of that. And this event is a qualifying moment and a qualifying event for the Paralympic Games the year after. So again in 2027 the European Paralympic Committee will organize a combined European Para Championships. And it's nice to know that we are now in a bidding procedure to come to the decision where this event will take place, and there are still 2 countries left. And one of these 2 countries is Turkey, with the city of Istanbul. So maybe in 2027, combined European Para Championships will be held in Istanbul, and it's a qualifying moment for the Paralympic Games in Los Angeles as well.
Have you been in Istanbul by yourself?
Yes, I've been in Istanbul.
How do you think about
A
Istanbul?
wonderful city. It's a wonderful city, inspiring city, and it's a wonderful city. I think also it's a wonderful city to host big events. So next year we have the European Para Youth Games 2025, and the Para Youth Games will be held in Istanbul next year. It's the big collaboration between the city of Istanbul and the National Paralympic Committee of Turkey. I'm very looking forward to it.
Okay, what we're going to see in this collaboration in 2025? Like, what was the plan?
What's the plan? It is a multi-sport event, European Para Youth Games, with 10 different sports, more or less 10 different sports. We're still discussing the final number of sports. Not only sports, there also will be an educational program. And this educational program is about anti-doping, about integrity in sport, is about fair play. But it's also about classification, a very important aspect of the para sports. So this educational program is really a substantial part of the event, and I'm very looking forward to also see what we can do together with the Turkish people in this educational part.
And it's also my personal interest, and it will be my last question, I promise. Raymond, thank you so much. It's just like going and going, and I was always telling my last question, but it's also in my personal interest, and it's due to respect. Like, there's also a big difference, and I'm not comparing, but Olympics and Paralympics. What was the rehearsal process for Paralympics? Because it's like really different, like athletes, like what they're going to do. I mean, is there any special program? And like, you know, this is kind of hard thing, and I'm not telling that comparing, don't get me wrong, but you know what I mean is like a different kind of rehearsal process, and I would love to know closely what athletes doing as their rehearsal.
One cannot compare, it's not the same. But what we see is, from the athletes' perspective, Olympian athletes and Paralympian athletes, they are full professional, full-time athletes. The efforts they put into the sports, this is comparable. They do exactly the same. They do the physical training, they do the mental training, they do the preparations. They have to qualify, and they have to go into this process. In that regard, Paralympic sport does not differ a lot from Olympic sport. It's really the highest level in the world, so you have to do your utmost best. But maybe in some other aspects, the Paralympic Games are different compared to the Olympic Games. Logistically, there's something different. Also in the Olympic Village and in the Paralympic Village, things are a little bit different, because you have to adapt to people with an impairment, especially for the wheelchair users, and also for the people with high support needs. So this is really a difference. Basically, it's sports, it's elite sports, and the athletes, they really have to do their utmost best to get the best out of performance. And in this regard, Olympics and Paralympics, I believe, are really at the same level.
Thank you so much for the interview. Raymon Blondel'la Avrupa Paralimpik Komitesi Başkanı ile röportajımız gerçekleşti. Kendisine çok teşekkür ediyoruz bu keyifli röportaj için. Devamı olacak programımızın. Buradan Paris'ten bildirmeye devam edeceğiz. Hoşça kalın.